Hey crazy stuff fam, buckle up as we journey through time and uncover the secrets of ancient Egyptian pregnancies. You might be surprised that before modern medical technology, these resourceful women relied on clever signs to figure out if they were expecting a little pharaoh or not, from missed periods and swollen bellies to mood swings and food cravings. Archaeologists have pieced together these subtle hints, giving us an incredible glimpse into the daily lives of Egypt's earliest moms-to-be. Let's dive in and see how ancient Egyptians determined pregnancy. Get ready for some mind-blowing history. Way back in ancient Egypt, our ancestors got creative with a DY pregnancy test, literally. They'd pee on barley or weed seeds and watch if they sprouted. The thinking was, if those little seeds started growing, it was a sign that mom-to-be was carrying a baby. Now, this method wasn't always 100% accurate, but hey, it's amazing how far back we can trace our quest for understanding pregnancy. Meanwhile, these clever Egyptians also knew their goddess Isis was the ultimate protector of expecting moms, and they believed in her magic to ensure safe and healthy deliveries. Imagine using ancient Egyptian wisdom to uncover whether a baby's on board, no ultrasound needed. They thought of the fetus as a revered being deserving of respect. The Ebers Papyrus from around 1550 BC, a treasure trove of medical knowledge, shares an unusual pregnancy test that's pure old-school charm. To find out if mom-to-be is expecting, simply take 3 grains each of barley and wheat, have her pee on them. It's time to let Mother Nature do its magic. If the barley sprouts first, a little boy will soon arrive, according to this ancient Egyptian prediction game. Imagine unwrapping history. Ancient Egyptians used wheat sprouts as a wild guess for guessing baby genders. If those tiny seeds grew, they believed it was a girl on the way, but if none showed up, no newborn bundle of joy to expect. Sounds like an oldie but not so goodie pregnancy test, though its accuracy relied heavily on timing, temperature, and seed quality. So, what could go wrong with relying on a little sprout? Let's dive back in time and explore what daily life was like for an ancient Egyptian woman expecting a little one. From our earlier discoveries, it's clear that they were way ahead of the game when it came to tracking pregnancies. But how did their day-to-day routines change once they found out they were having a baby? Did they take on new responsibilities or receive extra care and attention during those 9 months? We're about to find out. So, you're curious about what went down during childbirth in ancient Egypt. It's a fascinating topic. Let's dive into it. The specifics of childbirth varied depending on social class and location, but one thing's for sure, women often had support from experienced midwives or female relatives. Some even used magical spells and prayers to aid in a smooth delivery. Did you know that the wealthy might have even hired professional midwives, while poorer women relied more on family help? The rich also had access to fancy birthing tools like stone or wooden beds with built-in headrests. Talk about high-end prenatal care. Let's dive into what life was like for new moms in ancient Egypt, a world where survival was just the beginning. After pushing through that tough childbirth process, many mamas were lucky enough to have some dedicated support from trained midwives who acted as their personal guides through labor and delivery. But once baby arrived, what happened next? In this next part, we're going to unravel the mystery of ancient Egyptian baby care and see how new parents kept their little ones safe and healthy in a time when medical help wasn't just around the corner. Imagine welcoming home your newborn after 9 months. But back then, it wasn't just about diapers and sleepless nights. Ancient Egyptian mums got some serious TLC, with a designated rest period and even a wet nurse to help feed the little one. Once the family was all smiles again, they'd give their baby an unforgettable first gift, a name that stuck for life. But what about preventing those surprise pregnancies? Well, it turns out our ancestors were actually onto something. The ancient Ebers Papyrus reveals a list of contraceptive methods that predate modern times by thousands of years. Get ready for some ancient birth control basics. Before modern medicine, our ancestors relied on clever natural methods and some seriously resourceful materials. They discovered that certain plants like acacia gum, even yucky crocodile poop, could be turned into pessaries, basically a barrier to keep sperm from meeting the egg. Talk about getting creative with contraception. Get ready to dive into the fascinating world of natural birth control. When moms are exclusively breastfeeding, their bodies unleash a clever trick called lactational amenorrhea, a natural form of contraception that puts ovulation on hold. This magic happens because lactation triggers hormone releases that essentially say, "Not now, baby making." As a result, nursing mamas have a lower chance of getting pregnant. Now, let's be clear, these methods weren't always 100% effective back in the day, but they were the best shot women had at preventing unplanned pregnancies during a time when modern birth control options just didn't exist. Let's dive into the fascinating world of ancient Egyptian family planning. Back then, contraception wasn't as common as you might think, but it was mostly used by women who had their reasons. whether they wanted to avoid more kids or pregnancy complications. As time passed, though, we see a shift towards more women using these methods. Now, let's switch gears and talk about men in ancient Egypt during pregnancy. From pharaohs to everyday Joes, societal expectations played a big role in what was expected of them, and it differed based on their social status and wealth. So, when your significant other is expecting, you're not just buying cute baby gifts, but also stepping up as an awesome partner and provider. Expecting dads were counted on to keep their wives' bellies full, their clothes clean and comfy, and their homes safe and cozy. But that's not all. They also needed to be the ultimate emotional support system, being there for those mood swings and making sure their loved one felt loved and understood throughout this incredible journey. And when it was time for medical check-ups or deliveries, these amazing guys either took care of things themselves or made sure their partners got top-notch care from doctors, midwives, or even natural remedies like herbal treatments. Imagine being the rock for your partner through one of life's biggest adventures, pregnancy. Traditionally, it was the guy's role to shield their wife from harm and stressful emotions. But it wasn't just about keeping her physically safe. They were also expected to offer a listening ear and a comforting presence. And, depending on his social status, he might have even hired a professional midwife to ensure a smooth delivery. Talk about going all out for mom-to-be. Let's dive into how ancient Egyptian men stepped up when their partners were expecting. It wasn't all about hiring professionals back then. Typically lower-income dads to be relied on loved ones for support or rolled up their sleeves to care for their wives themselves. Now imagine being Pharaoh Akhenaten in 18th dynasty Egypt, the big cheese with Queen Nefertiti by his side. When she was carrying their little bundles of joy, Akhenaten was super hands-on. He was all about keeping Nefertiti healthy and happy throughout her pregnancy. Let's dive into the daily life of an ancient Egyptian couple expecting a baby. Back then, a commoner would likely team up with experienced healers and birth helpers, ensuring their partner received top-notch prenatal support. Although the pharaoh had way more medical perks, it was still crucial for every husband to keep his pregnant wife physically and emotionally strong. But here's the thing. Even with all the digging by archaeologists, we're still in the dark about many pregnancy secrets from ancient Egypt, like what foods were on the menu for expectant moms, or how different medical options looked for those carrying a baby. As we wrap up our journey through ancient Egypt's pregnancy secrets, archaeologists have been crucial detectives, piecing together the past to show us how these women experienced motherhood thousands of years ago. From discovering creative methods to detect pregnancies to uncovering their spiritual beliefs surrounding childbirth, we've dug up incredible insights. So, thanks for joining me on this adventure. If you found it as fascinating as I do, smash that like button and subscribe for more edifying escapades.